who on the eve of examinations would pace in his room and walk up and down stairs while reciting his Syriac lessons aloud. And the girl had overheard them. Take it easy. Don't get burned. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Asked Karen. More games. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? The Jesuit replied. His pulse was throbbing with that distant hope. Natürlich, the demon answered with theory. Mirable dictu, would you agree? The Jesuit's heart leaped up. Not only German, but blank, and in context. What nomen mihi est? He asked quickly. What is my name? Karen. And now the priest rushed on with excitement. Ubi sum? Where am I? In cubiculo. In a room. Et ubi est cubiculum? And where is the room? In domo. In a house. Ubi est Burke Dennings? Where is Burke Dennings? Mortal. He is dead. Quomodo mortuus est. How did he die? Invent. Et capite. Reverso. He was found with his head turned around. Quis accidit eam? Who killed him? Reagan. Quomodo ea accidit ilium. Dic mihi exacte. How did she kill him? Tell me in detail. Oh, well, that's sufficient excitement for now, said the demon with a grin. Yes, sufficient altogether, I would think. Though, of course, it will occur to you, I suppose. I mean, you. You being you. That while you were asking your question in Latin, you were mentally formulating answers in Latin. Yes, very funny. All unconsciously. Yes, whatever would we do without unconsciousness, Gareth? You see what I'm driving at? I cannot speak Latin at all. I read your mind. I merely plucked the responses from your head. Gareth felt an instant dismay as his certainty crumbled. He felt tantalized and frustrated now by the nagging doubt that had been planted in his brain. The demon chuckled. Yeah, I knew that would occur to you, Gareth. That's why I'm so fond of you, dear morsel. Yeah, that is why I cherish your reasonable men. The demon's head had tilted back in a wild spate of laughter. The Jesuit's mind raced rapidly, desperately, formulating questions to which no single answer was correct, but rather many. But maybe I'd think of all of them. Then ask a question that you don't know the answer to. He could check the answer later to see if it was correct. He waited for the laughter to end, and then spoke. Quam profundus est imus oceanus Indicus? What is the depth of the Indian Ocean at its deepest point? The demon's eyes glittered. Lapium de matans. Responde latine. Bonjour, bonne nuit. Quam. Harris broke off as the eyes rolled upward into their sockets, and the gibberish entity appeared. Impatient, frustrated, Karras demanded, "Let me speak to the demon again." No answer. Only the breathing from an alien shore. "Qui est tu?" He snapped hoarsely in a fraying voice. "Who are you?" Only silence. The breathing. "Let me speak to Burke Dennings."